Hello and welcome back to the railway. Just starting the scene on the cutting that comes down under here through this tunnel and across the main line. So this is going to be a cutting that's been decommissioned, and it has a bridge coming over it from the storage sidings here. So this bridge obviously is still in use, but the cutting has been taken out of commission. It's probably just, it's an old railway line, maybe a branch line that's no longer used. So basically what I've been doing is I put the board in. It's an old piece of board from some furniture, and it's basically floating on the scene there. Secured in by these brackets either side of it, and it's quite sturdy there. It's not going to move. So then from there on, what I did was I put in these support pieces of wood that all the walling will be PVA glued onto, and the walling will go all the way around this section here. And after that, I've been really concentrating on getting the walling all weathered. So the process for this was basically priming everything. So all the walling here and all these sections here have been primed first with either a brown or a grey primer, and then I painted them, and then I weathered them using washes. So I used a black wash and a white wash and a sponge, and I'll put in a little segment of how I did that. These are the paints that I used. So I used Tamiya flat brown, Tamiya flat white, and Tamiya flat black. And you'll know it's the flat version rather than the gloss version because the flat version is XF. So so to give you an idea of what's really going on here, this is a cutting, okay, maybe going back, you know, hundreds of years, but it cuts across, right across the main line here. And because it has a bridge that is still in use, the railway, they've decommissioned this line here, and they're going to be ripping everything up, and obviously it goes into what would have been a tunnel there. So the tunnel, as you can see here, I will be bricking it up, and it has been bricked up. If I show you there, it's all bricked up, and the reason for that, they might brick it up because they just don't want trespassers going in there and either coming to some harm or maybe vandalizing the tunnel that's really, it's going over this main line. You know, that tunnel might run for 500, 600, 700 yards. So they've bricked it up just for safety, and it kind of helped me doing that, really. I got the idea for that because I can't really create a tunnel scene as it is with these boards here. These boards here are really for strengthening the main boards. So that's the reason behind that. As I said, all these various panels made by Wills or Pico, they've been primed and they've been weathered, and you can see there, that's the kind of effect I was going for. Some of them have got slightly heavier weathering. I want the scene to kind of look like, you know, it may have been raining during the night and now it's the next morning, and the wind is kind of drying up all the rain. You can see here some of the boards, they have like darker sections. You can see the actual rendering. I had to bring out all the rendering on these panels, and I'll put up a picture of what these panels look like when you get them from new, from Wills. And as far as the base board is concerned, starting from where the wall is here, you can see I've put cork down. This is all PVA glued in. It comes as far as here, from the wall to here. It also goes in the back there, along there. And then of course, same on this side as far as here. There's cork here, and there's cork obviously for the disused rails. They've been rusted up, the rails, and I've weathered the track. So this section here will have gravel all the way out to as far as here, and then here will be a road. So it'll be like a really old access road that the railway have used. I'm going to use the Das clay for that. I've never used it before, but I've been researching a good bit on the internet about how to use it, and I have a few ideas of how I'm going to create that. Obviously, after it's laid, the clay, it's going to be painted and weathered up. Today I've been kind of weathering this bridge. As you can see, I'm starting to blacken it up, make it look really old. I've even done some of the kind of staining you would get where the rainwater would have been running down from the upper line here. So obviously the upper line here would need drainage, and I'll have drainage going down the sides of these pillars. So you can see you've got the blackened arches of the tunnel where they've been, you know, succumbed to all the smoke from steam engines and diesels throughout the years. And then you've got the kind of staining that all the rainwater where it would be running down to the ground has created on the brickwork. You can see there, I'm just building it up slowly, and this will probably take a couple of days to do until it's really looking the part. You know, I have to do the inside of the arches as well. There's a close-up of the rendering there. It came out very well with the whitewash, and there's still a lot more to do on this scene. So I've got the gravel, the road, and then there'll be some weeds, and there'll be kind of hedging coming in as well. So there's plenty to do. So I'm going to put in a few clips of how I did that weathering, and I'll probably put up another video in maybe about a week and a half, and see how far I've got. So let me know what you think, whether it's a good idea. Was originally going to put a canal in here, but it didn't really make sense to put a canal in there, because I'm going to have tunnel sections going across here, across the main line, and this siding here. And it just made more sense to put in the disused railway line here. This bridge actually has, if you can see on it, if I can focus, 1923, actually stamped on Anodama, 1923, and the tunnel portal actually has 1875 on it. So it is conceivable that there was a railway line running here in the 1870s, and then in the 1920s they extended this yard here over this other line. But now in modern times they've decommissioned this line, and of course they have to keep this bridge in operation for the rest of the yard here. So that's the kind of idea about it. There's a lot more detailing to done. We've got all the ground cover to do. Have to secure the walls in place. I'm going to put all the vegetation in, make it look as if, you know, nature's reclaiming this area. And then I'll have a couple of workmen in here, some vehicles, and some diggers and that, so because they'll be ripping out the line. So tell me what you think. Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? And everyone take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.
So a grey primer went on here first to prime it so the acrylic will take to the plastic, and I'm just starting to stipple it with a sponge dipped into the lid. So when you take off the lid of this little drop of paint that's left in the lid, just stipple it on like so, and keep on going and build up the layers of the paint. So literally shake this up with the lid on it, and a little bit of paint that's left in the top of the pot. Just dip your sponge in like so and bring it over and just stipple it and keep on building it and building it. And as you see, it's starting to bring out all the lines, the grout lines, and you keep going that way and just keep on building it up until you see there all the lines are brought out. You see here, you don't really see them. Over here, all the grout work is brought up and it gives that kind of dirty, smoky effect. So this is the brickwork when you get it first, and then after you weather it and put the wash on, this is really what you end up with. So it just brings out all the brickwork, and you know, the washes really make it more real. Take care.